So this is on the industry academia gap. So I happened to listen to one professor in IIT Bombay, from IIT Bombay, who made a passionate case that there should be a gap. The job of IITs is not to produce somebody better ready for their first job, but to really make them ready for life, right? So what is industry expecting? So I would really like to know, is there any concrete example of what you mean by this industry gap? So are they not reading the right syllabus? Are they not working on the right processors? Are they not learning enough? So I don't know how many of academicians are represented here. We really don't know. We do have concrete examples. I have some food for thought, and some officials in IESA can take it forward. I think our problem is we are producing far too many engineers, if I may consider. If we can reduce the number of admissions by 70% and just get the right 30% of the students, existing education system can take care. I feel we should just make it harder to graduate. We should not allow everybody to come into engineering just because they can pay fees, and make sure that when they come out, and that's what industry is talking about, 30% only are employable. Well, just educate those 30%. Just a food for thought, if somebody can lobby with the government and make it harder to start an engineering college, make it harder to just get into engineering, and only the brightest and the brightest will come out. Just a food for thought.
Thank you so much. I think is really food for thought, and it needs deeper analysis, understanding, and brainstorming. If any one of the panelists have any quick comment on that, otherwise I think we will still take the last question from Dr.
Vivek,
Zabi.
if I can just...
Yes, please, go ahead.
20-second comment. I completely agree with you about the making it harder. I mean, if you look at the really top engineers that come out, there are 500, 800 applicants to a seat, and that's where you really see the cream coming out. Now, as far as IIT Bombay, and I completely agree, it's not about being better prepared for the first job, it's being better prepared for life. But even the simple toolkits of problem solving, of understanding problems, of dealing with uncertainty and unknown, even those are not coming out in engineering degrees. And that is the foundation stone of a good engineer, is the ability to do those things.
Can I add a
Just please go ahead.
Just a quick, yeah, 5-second comment. I think one of the tragedies of the system here today is that I don't see enough IIT engineers going into engineering profession, you know. And this has changed dramatically since the time I graduated. And I think, you know, that's something we need to look closely at. I agree that universities are meant to teach you about life and not specific jobs, but you know, it's a big shift that I'm seeing, which is a part of the problem. I mean, you have smart people, you have great education, but they're going into different professions.
Thank you. Dr. Zabi? Is there a mic somewhere?
Shall I go ahead and ask the question, or?
This is the last question, really the last question. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, because I've been standing
maybe we can take it off.
off.
Do we have time for 2 questions?
Quick questions.
Quick questions, please. Let's go.
Yeah, quickly, this is Murali Pulisu from Sankhya Technologies.
For?
It's actually, I'm not sure if it should be for any specific panelist, but I guess anybody can take this question. Just like how a good policy attracts investment, do you think actively working on standard specifications will drive ESDM product development? If yes, is IESA doing anything in standard specifications? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, so maybe if I can at least trigger and then can indicate it. I think the answer is obvious, is yes. These standards anywhere in the world and in any country is really behind the growth. It can contribute, if it is not the only factor, but it can be one of the significant factors for boosting that. And now speaking on behalf of IESA, I think that this is well within the charter, not only to influence the policies, which we see that there is a declaration of policies, but also to participate more and more, I would say, in the standards body too, so that there can be standards which are specific to India and which can cater to such growth. Anyone else would like to add? Okay, thank you. So maybe we go for the last one with Dr. Zabi. We need mic in the front row. Okay, fine. So it can be taken offline. So let's, as we run out of time, so thank you very much. And I believe that this probably did not give all the answers to this complex problem in front of us. Maybe it raised more questions, but I am sure that there were elements by which we can see that at least the country is moving in a direction, and it is a matter of time that we will see the fruits appearing there on the trees. So once again, thank you for having very interactive section, and once again, thanks to all the panelists. Thank you very much.
Yeah, before we leave the panelists, I would request the Vice Chairman of IESA, Mr. Sanjeev Keskar, to kindly come over and give away mementos to everyone. First of all, to the moderator, Shri Vivek Sharma. Kindly accept it, sir. Also to Mr. Vasudevan Aghoramurthy, thank you very much for your presence in the panel. To Dr. Ishwar Dutt Parulkar. Mr. Travis Carr. And finally to Dr. Suket Singhal. Thank you very much for that wonderful session on the ESDM product development, domestic and global company experiences.